My name is Helen Hancock. I am the team rector of the Tolworth, Hook and Surbiton team ministry, and I'm based at St Matthew's in Surbiton. I've been here nearly 4 years, and I do something over 20 funerals a year. I'm passionate about funeral ministry. I see it as a great way of connecting with the local community, of being the parish church, of offering support to people when they really need it, and being seen to be relevant as a result of that. I've been asked to talk about what I think makes a good funeral, and perhaps what a family might expect if they ask their undertaker for a Christian funeral. And that might be a funeral in a church, or it may be asking for a Christian minister to conduct a funeral in a crematorium or cemetery. It seems to me that the family might expect the vicar to be efficient, to make a phone call as soon as they know that they're going to conduct that funeral, to organise a pastoral visit. And the family can really help that visit to go well if they have a thought in advance about the deceased, what they might like as elements of the service, their memories of the deceased, and if they've had a chance to discuss this with other members of the family. But none of that is essential, because it will be the vicar's job to try and tease out some of that information within that first pastoral visit. Also at that time, the family may be asked what they found difficult about the deceased, just trying to get a full picture of the person, not that they were just a saint, but also that they had foibles and particular issues that could be a problem, because that's often part of a grieving process, to encourage the family to think about the person in the whole. After that, hopefully the minister may be involved in helping with the practical arrangements for the funeral, checking that the order of service is correct, practical issues like that. The service itself should be appropriate and sensitive to the deceased and to the family circumstance. I think completing that picture, one would hope that there would be some pastoral follow-up, maybe a phone call after a few weeks or months, possibly a card, an invitation to a church event. And often churches have an annual service of remembering and thanking, at which time there's that opportunity, sometime perhaps after the funeral, to come back and to reflect quietly in God's presence about the person that has been lost.
My name is Emma Sparre-Slater, and I'm a Senior Funeral Director and Training Officer for Dignity Caring Funerals. I've been a funeral director for some 25 years, and in that time I've had the privilege to serve innumerable families, those of faith and those with no faith. And I believe that no funeral is intrinsically better than another, but those that have had the opportunity for real engagement for the mourners, so those that invite participation from family and friends, do seem to be a more positive and helpful experience to those that are attending. So whether that be through wearing a different colour, a favourite colour for somebody's, or the choice of music, or just providing a personal tribute, something like that. I do understand that for people of faith, funerals may be considered to be for the benefit of the dead, but as a funeral director I see it slightly differently, and I see that their real purpose is for the living. So as such, I would say that a good funeral, the most successful funerals, are those that are highly personalised, that are a tailored service that reflects the life of the deceased. And a good funeral should encompass all aspects of the life led by the deceased, recognition for the part that they have played in the lives of those around them, and an opportunity for those present to say goodbye in a dignified, meaningful and appropriate way. And for all that it is a sad occasion, it should be as positive an experience as possible for those attending. So, I mean, I'm not sure that you can really do justice to a long life in the short amount of time you have for a funeral service, but I think you should try. And I don't think it's enough that you just have a standardised funeral service. I don't think you can just read a good funeral service from a book, regardless of whichever book you might be choosing to read from, but a personalised service is the most beneficial, and I think that is what makes a good funeral.
Overarching those practical arrangements for a good funeral, I believe, are two things. One is prayer. The deceased family may never know that prayer is taking place, but the vicar or minister we'll pray for the family and maybe continue to pray for that family sometime after the events of the funeral. Also, there will be the expression of hope. Hope in eternal life. Hope in Jesus Christ, who died, was crucified, buried, and who was resurrected, and who gives us that hope of eternal life. And that hope runs through the funeral service and is the absolute rock upon which a Christian funeral is based.